What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James. As always, with me, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody Foltz. And, Brody, we have a guest.
We do.
And he hates printers as much as I hate printers as well.
Oh, yeah. We got LaRon from the PlayStation Crossroads. PS Crossroads. Sorry. I absolutely butcher that. PS Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast. I was on 2 episodes now, and I should know better than that. But we have LaRon, the PC Muzzle Race. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. Thanks for having me on today.
Thanks for coming on.
Do you just want to give the rundown on who you are and where people can follow you and about Boss Rush and about Crossroads?
Sure. All right. Yeah, I'm LaRon Dawkins, better known as Exodus803. Through all sorts of various sources. It's my gamer tag. That's my social media handle. Twitch.tv/Exodus803 is where I stream at most times. And I am a member of the Boss Rush Games family, and I actually am one of the main hosts for Crossroads PlayStation podcast, which airs every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch channel. Beyond that, I'm just a big nerd. Yes, I do hate freaking printers. That's because my job, always has me run afoul of a printer. So it's one of those situations. And hey, like just your average guy that likes Star Trek and video games.
Awesome. Awesome, dude. And guys, you can follow us at Diggity Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our podcast if you're listening to the first time. And you can find our podcast on, good Lord, every single podcast platform known to man, I think.
And recently Pandora.
Yes, finally.
Pandora.
Took forever, but we finally got it. So we're in there.
Like 2 years in, finally.
But carry on with tradition for the show and how we kind of roll with it. LaRon, you want to talk about what you've been playing recently?
Currently I am playing Horizon Zero Dawn. And before I get any slack about it, yes, I am playing it on the PlayStation 5 because my cohorts from Crossroads ridiculed me for playing it on the PC. So currently I am playing Horizon Zero Dawn. And it's actually a reattempt at playing it because I attempted to play it back when it was on PS4, and I don't know, I guess the timing just wasn't right for me or something. Like I didn't go too far beyond like the opening stages and stuff. And so now I'm actually getting that done. So I have no distractions when Monster Hunter Rise comes out in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Dude.
Absolutely. Horizon, we talked about it on Crossroads one time.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you were one of the guys that gave me shit for not playing it on PlayStation. Very first episode.
I also haven't played it, so
yeah.
I haven't played it. I haven't beat it.
Hypocrisy.
I mean, it was the running joke. I had to jump in on it. I couldn't let you go. But that's awesome, man.
I love it.
I'm enjoying it.
How far you think you are into it?
Well, let's see. Because of my schedule with work and with podcasting and stuff, I haven't been able to put a lot of time into it. But I think if I saw it correct, no, I made level 7, but I know for a fact that I'm past the part where she actually goes through her trials and stuff, and she actually has been accepted as one of the tribe. And of course, after shit goes down, So yeah, like I'm actually starting off on Aloy's real adventure at this point. So the story is actually opened up now. Okay,
yeah. I think that's about where I am too. I think it just opened up, and I always enjoy the game when I'm playing it, but I never have that drive to go back and play it. I don't know what it is about it. There's just something that, if for whatever reason, it's not like one of those games that I think about when I'm not playing. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get home and do this. But yeah, it is a great game from what I have experienced of it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and this time just happens to work out. That it's actually got my attention long enough that I'm actually playing it because I'm one of those people. I have gaming ADD. Like I will I will start playing a game and I'll be on to the next game before I finish the last one. And it is one of those situations where when I get back to playing the original game, it's like, it's been so long since I played this game, I have to start over. And then I have the other problem is I don't want to start over right now. So I'm going to play something else now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the ADD Gamer Focus Group.
Oh,
That was our other name for our podcast, but...
so basically I am not the charter member, but I'm one of the legacy members at least.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, we struggle with that too. The problem is, right, is there's so much, like, there's so many good games. Like,
yeah.
Like it's difficult to like figure out what you want to play, and then a lot of them can be like a massive time sink, and you don't know exactly, oh boy, can I put this much time into this one before this one comes out? Like mine right now is God of War. I'm plugging away at it, but it's like I get distracted by so much crap. And then Brody's like, yo, let's go jump into this, and I'm like, yes, and it's not his fault. I'm just like, yes, that sounds kick ass. And then I'm in it, and I'm like, wait, I gotta beat that still.
I was plugging away on God of War, and then Spider-Man came out. And,
no shit,
it succinctly took all my attention away.
Right, yeah.
I did the same thing. I mean, I bought my PlayStation 4 because of Spider-Man and God of War, and then I started playing God of War. Spider-Man came out, and I immediately got off of God of War and played Spider-Man. And it was like 6 months later, I was like, okay, I need to buckle down and finally play this game. And now it's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm like, God, if I would just stick with it, it's so good. But I jump from game to game to game, and new games come out, and I get distracted. I'm like, ooh, shiny, and bounce to that game. And it's a wonder I ever complete anything. It's a wonder I finally finished Persona. Like it's insane.
Yeah, we've got a boss. We've got technically a boss rush challenge going on right now. It's basically a challenge just to finish as many games as you can through for this year. And it's not even like you have to like finish every game you press start on. It's just basically like just beat some games because last year we did at Crossroads we did our year ender. And basically we were giving our top picks for PlayStation games for PlayStation games, and between Austin, Nelly, and myself, I think we all had beaten maybe like 6 games between the 3 of us. So we had the most skewed like top 10 and top 5. Because we were saying this is my number 1, but I haven't beaten my number 1.
Man, yeah. I think anyways when people like review games, and like most of the podcasts anyways when they do it, I mean, there's no way they see every part of it. I mean, maybe if they're doing it full time as a job, but then I don't even know how you live. Like legit, how do you you go outside and see the world? I mean, like I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm single, and I still don't have time to play all the video games I want to play. And I have like dog and squirrel syndrome, man. Like if it looks like it's going to be good, it has my attention, even though it's like that meme where the guy is walking with his girlfriend and he's checking out the other girl.
Yeah,
that's me in any video game that's going to jump out at me. I got the other game looking at me like, what the hell?
That's awesome, dude. Love it.
What you been playing, Jeff? I'll let you go first this time.
Dude, before me. I've been all over the place, and a lot of like different things, like different platforms. We played Zombies, and like the new Zombies update through
the Outbreak,
yeah, which is fantastic. Like I really like that a lot. I mean, I've always been a fan of Zombies, but the way that this is done is so much better, I think, honestly. And I found it a lot more fun, and we even had 2 randoms with us, which I mean, eventually just kind of took off after the first round. But
yeah, we didn't even make it to went through the first teleporter, and they were just gone.
Yeah.
Okay, see ya.
Wild.
We'll figure it out.
So I've played that. I got a little bit of time into City Skylines on PC, just a tiny bit. Hearthstone on the iPad. When I've got time, I mean, I'll play a little bit of it in the morning while making breakfast. And then it's been a pretty lull week. I mean, it's been a busy week. So I mean, it's been tough. But I think next week I'll clear up a good amount and I'll be able to really focus on some more gaming. I really want to get God of War done, dude. I got to. I mean, I'm just.
Oh yeah.
I'm letting the entire gaming world down by not finishing that game. So
you don't worry, I haven't beaten it either. So I'll carry some of that shame with you.
All right, perfect. There we go.
Got to get it done before the new one comes out.
Oh God. Yeah, but here's the thing too, right? Is going back to the Spider-Man thing that you discussed. I finished Spider-Man and I finished Miles Morales straight on through. Didn't touch any other game. So I kind of sit there. And I'm like, maybe I just don't. I mean, I do enjoy God of War. I'm not going to say that I don't enjoy it because the internet will lose its damn mind. But maybe I think I enjoyed Spider-Man and Miles Morales more than God of War, which still people are probably like, what? But I mean, just
what?
Me, yeah.
Are you ready for your audience to lose their minds?
You don't think it's that great?
No.
Okay, my bad.
It's not even about God of War because I will say this about 2018's God of War. It is the best God of War game I've played. It's actually the one out of all the other games. It's actually the one, except for the first one. I really enjoyed the very first God of War game. My problem with the God of War, the original God of War franchise or trilogy, if you want, I'm gonna call it franchise because you played those PSP games, those games have a place inside the canon.
Yeah.
But my main problem with the God of War, the original God of War games, was the fact that Kratos eventually just came off to me like an emo son of a bitch, and
fair.
And it just so pulled me out of the element of wanting to enjoy and play the game, So when 2018 came along and I was like, oh man, I love this interpretation of Kratos. It actually seems like he has a much bigger and better purpose than what it was in the original set, and it actually made Kratos relatable because a revenge story is not always relatable for most people.
No,
but a story where he's protecting his family or he's trying not to go back into his old ways, that's relatable, stuff like that, and that's one of the reasons why. Now, what I was saying about your fans possibly wanting to riot, I beat Spider-Man Miles Morales, but I never beat Spider-Man.
Oh my God!
Wow!
I'll tell you exactly where I'm at. I'll tell you exactly where I'm at. I'm at the final mission. I also have this problem with video games.
What? Why not finish it?
Yeah. Well, I have this. I have this other problem when I play video games. If I've gotten invested and enjoy the story so much, I don't want it to end. And
that's fair.
So I'll get completely gun shy when I know as soon as I press accept this objective, the game is over. I get gun shy sometimes, and I'm like,
I don't want to say goodbye.
I can't do it. I mean, people should have beaten Spider-Man by now. Aunt May was already in the hospital. I already knew what was up.
Yo, that game. To be honest with you, though, that game's right from the get go. I mean, and Brody pointed this out too.
Shit.
Just like most Spider-Man movies, right? It's very predictable, which is fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good. Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. I still enjoy it, but it's a super predictable thing. I mean, it's
for real.
Definitely not gonna be blown any minds.
With Breath of the Wild, I never actually fought Ganon because I just didn't want the game to end. So,
okay.
So we can go back. It was kind of one of those things.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean,
that's one of the few games I've done it with, but it was just one of those games I'm not done exploring, and I don't really want to go kind of wrap this story up. So I'm just gonna stop here and go venture out and see new shit every once in a while and have fun with it. But.
And that's the other thing too about Spider-Man. If you're not fulfilling the missions, there's still crime and stuff going on, in the city and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just, and they nailed that game so well. The swinging feels great. Everything in that game is just so good. So it's such a great job.
If there's gamer ADD, what would you diagnose for not wanting to complete games because you don't want the story to end.
Gamer impotence or gamer dysfunction.
This man's got full gamer dysfunction.
That
is awesome.
I mean, that is the best way I can sum it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I it's like you're enjoying the game, but you just can't finish.
Yeah. What other games have you got? Because I don't have that problem at all of not like wanting to finish a game.
You bragging. No dysfunction here.
I just have the ADD. I don't have the problem of I don't want to not have the game end. I mean, what's some other games?
Well, let's see.
He's looking on the ceiling. That's not good. Done with this.
Let's see. Let me think here. Haven't finished The Witcher 3.
Okay.
Haven't finished The Witcher 3.
I'm probably gonna.
Bro, he's getting deeply concerned.
No, I'm gonna catch some shit for this one. I can't get into The Witcher 3. I have tried a couple different times and I cannot get into it.
I will double down that shock. I have never played The Witcher 3.
Oh, I've at least tried it, but the control scheme is so bizarre and it's just weird. And then I take a break from it and I try to come back and I'm lost.
What's bizarre about it?
I couldn't even tell you. It's been a little while since I played it, but I know like nothing felt natural when I was starting and they did that little like tutorial area and everything. But I don't know. I do want to go back to it. I own it on PC and Xbox, but I just, for whatever reason, I have not gotten into it. Not enough to really let its teeth get into me. So.
Let me think. I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say Cyberpunk 2077, but also at the same time, Cyberpunk is kind of like in a limbo phase for me because I want them to kind of like iron out the wrinkles in what's going on with that.
Right.
GTA 5.
I finished GTA 5. I sat down and played through all of that. I enjoyed that one a lot.
And because there was a leak that they're getting ready to launch this in the collector's edition, I haven't beaten the first Tomb Raider, from the reboots. and that was one I was heavily invested in too. And you know what? Since I'm the lead host of a PlayStation show, I haven't finished Uncharted 4, and Uncharted is the reason why I bought a PlayStation.
Yo, this is like one massive like.
Right. Yeah. I need counseling, therapy.
Yeah, this is like one massive session of like, yo, just so everybody knows, we have a video game podcast, and Jeff hasn't played The Witcher 3.
This is video game confessions.
Yeah, serious. Oh my gosh,
man! I need help.
I mean, I guess the one thing, this is probably the worst for me, but like. Simulation games at one point, like after you just get to a level where you're succeeding pretty far in them, I just kind of sit there and go, okay, I think I'm kind of done.
Yeah, you hit a saturation point, just like you were talking about City Skylines. But I've played the tutorial and I love city simulator games. I do. Like I was playing SimCity. I was playing, I guess, it's SimCity 5, I guess. Mm-hmm. You know, the one that they called The Failure, I was playing that like it was going out of style, but apparently it was going out of style because they shut down the servers like a year later, Yeah. But I was playing that like it was a new religion and stuff, and I was hitting saturation points to the fact where I was like, you know what? I'm done with this city. I'm gonna make a brand new city. I'm gonna start a whole new file and stuff like that. And so like City Skylines, like I got one of the humble bundles that got me like this ginormous, like the game plus like 13 bunches of add-ons and DLCs and stuff. And I played a tutorial, and then I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to sink into this just yet.
Yeah, and that happened to me with Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh god, every podcast, bro. Every podcast, Brody, the roller coaster tycoon comes up. But
It has to.
yeah,
It has
so
to.
it's just like, I mean, you know, you're doing all these goals and stuff like that, and then you're like, I don't want this. I don't want to beat this. I'm just having fun, making all this money, paying off loans and stuff like that.
That's it too. When you get
Brody's like, that does not sound fun.
no. When you get to
Exhilarating.
on those sim games, when you get into this groove where your economics are like unmatched, and it's like, man, this is it. If I plop down another piece of property, I'm going to screw the entire system up. So you just sit there and you just watch it, and you know, if anything is like, I'll just wait for a natural disaster or an extinction level event to happen, then I'll move on to the next goal.
Bro, I mean, I get lost in those games. It's wild.
Yeah,
Absolutely
same. You know
wild.
what? Now I gotta. I'm probably gonna spark that up later.
Damn.
Did you ever play Frostpunk?
Oh,
I have
boy.
it. I have it.
Oh yeah. It's like
I hear it's like the Soulsborne of Sims.
oh, it's fucking brutal. Like so when I was still on shift, I'd have to switch back and forth from days to nights, and so I'd stay up the night before I would actually go in on nights. And I started playing it at, I don't know, it was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 8 o'clock in the morning, just like probably bloodshot eyes staring at this. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to figure it out. And I guess there's like a certain formula essentially that you have to do in order to win or whatever. But yeah, I for the life of me, I went in blind and I could not figure it out. I got my ass kicked over and over. Everybody just started dying. I'm like, well, sorry, let's try again. Restart the game. It is worth checking out though, for sure. It's great.
Yeah, I have it because I subscribe to the humble
bundle, yeah.
the humble choice. So like, you know, every month you get like 12 games, basically 12 games for $12, you know, depending on when you signed up, because some of them, you know, like I've heard the price just went up on them. So so I think the price may have changed for certain people, and you're probably grandfathered in. But yeah, I got that one, and I believe it's in my Steam library. I just haven't started, but I've seen and heard about it, and I'm like, am I ready to have my hopes and dreams crushed here?
It will certainly do that.
I haven't played it yet. You told me to play it. I just haven't had time, and I feel like I'd probably like it a lot, right?
Yeah, I bet you would like it quite a bit. Yeah, it's like a survival world or survival like simulation building type game. It's pretty cool though. Definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I actually canceled my Humble bundle a while back because I was still kind of in the grandfathered in for a while, and I kept skipping months, and then I would forget to skip a month, and I'd have a bunch of games that I'm never gonna touch, and so I finally just said, nah, I'll just cancel it for
now. Does IGN still own Humble?
I think so. I know they did at one point, but I don't know if they still do. Well, while you're looking that up, I played the Project Triangle strategy demo this week.
How was that?
How is it?
It is good. It is a little bit different than, I'm a big Fire Emblem fan. So this is similar, but also different. And there's not really much in the way of a tutorial. I mean, there kind of is. There's pop-up boxes that come up, but most of the pop-up boxes that would have helped me didn't come up until after I killed off 2 of my people. So whoops. But there's a couple like mechanics and things, like if an enemy is in front of you and behind you, if they attack, the person behind them will also get to strike. So I had like a rogue type character. I snuck up behind somebody and attacked, and then they came behind me later and ended up just killing her in one turn. I was like, oh okay.
Wow.
And then there's another spot I didn't know, but you could actually get knocked off of the bridge, this bridge that you the first level. And so I was sitting there and I went to try to do that critical strike thing where you have the 2 people on either side, and that knight like turned and just kicked my character straight the fuck off the bridge. Oh, no. That's depressing. And they're just gone. So I don't, it's weird. This is an odd demo because it's not only gameplay demo. There is a ton of story here. It's like very JRPG. Like, here's a brick wall of story. You got to play one level, and then here's another brick wall of story. So I've literally only done one battle, and I probably have close to 2 hours in it so far, I'd say. And I'm so far, I mean, I love the art style. It's very much like Octopath Traveler. It's really cool what they've done there, and the story seems like it could be pretty good. But at the beginning of the demo, it said you're starting in like chapter 6. So it feels like you're just getting dropped right in the middle of the story and have kind of, you can piece it together, but it seems a little crazy to have the demo where they have it. And I get kind of why they did it, but at the same time, it's a little odd.
But also, isn't the game itself not releasing until sometime next year?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we have that. Yeah, it was 2022.
Yeah, because that's the main reason why. That's the main reason why I downloaded the demo, but I haven't started it because I'm like, I don't know if I want to like play this and then be left salivating for the game, and it's not coming out till next year. I'm like, but because see, they're gonna mess around. This game's gonna come out when the Callisto Protocol comes out. And I'm not gonna buy it right then, because I'm going to be playing the Callisto Protocol because I gotta support the Dead Space team.
Yeah, fair enough.
They also don't have like even a month. I mean, it's just flat out just 2022.
Yeah, 2022 sometime. So from what I've played of it, I really enjoy it. The only thing is I hope they can keep my attention better than Octopath did, because Octopath got very boring very quickly, and I wanted to continue that game, and I just kind of eventually got to the point where I bounced off of it. I still have it, and I'll still probably return to it one day, but I hope they do a better job, because that one was just so kind of, I don't know, it all just felt the same. So I hope they do a good job of creating these levels to where they're unique. And with these strategy type of games, you really need that anyway to keep it fresh. I also played a little bit of Watch Dogs Legion. Still not fully invested into it, but I've been kind of screwing around with it, and it's okay. I liked Watch Dogs 2 better than I do this one, but
what's
for what
not,
it is,
what's
I mean,
not
it's
great about it. Like, what's
it's very weird not having a central main character. I mean, and I essentially made my first character like he is the main character, like you get to pick out of a select group.
Then it feels like there's no progression, essentially, like
kinda
as a player.
I mean,
or a user,
there is progression. I mean, you're doing missions and stuff, but there's no.
It's not like your character's upgrading and like doing all this.
Yeah, it's just like a group of people fighting against a big corporation type of deal. It's very bizarre. Like, and it feels fine. I mean, the gameplay's okay. It's not amazing. It's fine. And the character recruiting's kind of neat. How you can just go around and recruit different people. The voice modulation that they do for all the random voices is fucking wonky. It's all over the place.
Like, is it like some people have like squeaky voices and stuff like that? And like,
so far, I haven't run into anybody that has like a real squeaky voice or anything. But I mean, the accents are garbage. They're just terrible. A real bad, like, awful imitation of a British accent. And it's the main character, you can tell his voice has been messed with because it almost sounds like it drops out because it's pitched down. It's weird. And I say main, but it's the first character I got.
They're using like what? They're using AI for machine learning for
so they
modulation?
They had a ton of different voice actors for this. And then they took their voices and modulated them essentially to make a ton more different voices. While I also have this like chick that sounds like she's Jamaican, and it's also like a bad imitation Jamaican accent. Like it's rough. It's rough. And that alone is kind of enough to be like, don't fucking talk. Please don't. None of you talk. This is a silent protagonist game going forward, as far as I'm concerned. And then, as you said, we touched on the Cold War Zombies Outbreak mode, which I was surprised is actually a lot of fun, because this Zombies I kind of bounced off of, and but Outbreak is really, really cool how that all works. And I imagine if we could keep a full team of 4 together, it would be a lot of fun. And I finally jumped back into Final Fantasy 14. So
good God, he's lost.
Ever since I beat Persona, I have had a hard time getting into anything. I have bounced off of just about everything that I've gone after, and I don't know why.
Because you played 120 hours of that game?
175, thank you.
You played 175 hours of one game, that's why. You don't know what's out there now.
There's other games?
Yeah.
So...
I
figured I can dump another 175 hours into Final Fantasy 14 and maybe feel somewhat fulfilled again.
Oh my gosh!
I can't trash talk you, because between the PS4 and the PC version of Monster Hunter World, I know I've hit 1,000 hours. I know I have.
Holy shit!
At least that's a multiplayer game, though. I mean, 175 hours in a single player experience is
that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
You come out of it and you feel like you don't even know how to socialize with people anymore. It's just like, hey, what? I'm like, I don't know. Where's the dialogue options? And
that's the name of the game. You took on a new persona, dude.
Yeah. The person that doesn't know how to play video games anymore. I'm lost, man. Yeah. So it has been weird. Like I said, I tried to jump back into Valhalla and Legion and a bunch of different things, and eventually there was like 4 free days of play in Final Fantasy 14. So I was like, I might as well use this, and I hop back in, and I think I'm hooked again. I think I'm very hooked again.
This is Rocket League. No, stop using the D-pad and just clicking A. Stop. There's more to it. I can't. Oh man.
Where's the all-out attack?
Yeah. Do you want to hit us up with the upcoming game releases?
Yeah, March 12th, Crash Bandicoot 4 is coming to the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Switch. Drive-By is coming to PC and Switch. March 16th, The Elder Scrolls Online Flames of Ambition DLC is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is coming to Switch. Monster Truck Championship is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X. Mundan is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Samurai Showdown is coming to Xbox Series X. Stubbs the Zombie, Rebel Without a Pulse, is coming to Switch. And March 18th, Cartel Tycoon, there's a new Tycoon game for you, Jeff, is coming to PC. And Marvel's Avengers is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X.
You're gonna run the cartel.
Yeah, I mean, it's
the
better than playing Marvel's Avengers. God. Anything you're looking forward to on this list, Laurent?
Honestly,
anything to try?
You didn't mention Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh yeah, not yet. You got another week.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's upcoming this week?
Yeah, just this week.
Oh, then I think I'm safe then. I've still got more time to finish. Horizon, and maybe dabble in shoot. I don't know. Like I got beat
Monster Hunter World.
Actually, I've kind of been on a break from Monster Hunter World. Even though technically, me and one of the other guys from Boss Rush, Galatrad, we're actually going to be starting the Hunters for Hire podcast real soon, which is
nice.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we should be doing our principal recording for the first episode sometime this coming week.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so like I said, like not a lot of time for video games right now. I don't know how I'm going to do a focused podcast around a video game.
It's the ultimate test, man, of the gamer ADD. The ultimate test.
I am actually very excited for Monster Hunter Rise too. That
about
demo
Elder
was
Scrolls?
fantastic.
Because you purchased Elder Scrolls, right?
Oh yeah, I did play a little bit of it. I didn't play a ton. It was like a random. I had like an hour before I needed to hit the hay, and I went ahead and played a little bit. And it's good. It's fine. I need to get out of the opening area and kind of get back into the open world there. But I think I'm craving that MMO kind of game, man. I don't know what it is. Something needs to just capture my attention for the next like year, and I think that could be it.
Warcraft.
I think Final Fantasy 14 should keep me plenty busy for quite some time. But I got Elder Scrolls because I didn't really want to pay the subscription fee, because I'll usually play for like 2 weeks or a month or something like that, and then I'll kind of take a break, and then I forget to cancel my subscription. So then I end up paying like $30 for the next 2 months because I forget. And it's like, son of a bitch. So that's kind of why I picked up Elder Scrolls. But it's different.
I'm kind of actually intrigued by Cartel Tycoon. Like, I'm probably going to search this
Are
up
you really?
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of intrigued about it too.
Like, I mean, what goes down, you know?
I didn't want to say anything, but I'm like, man, like, you know what? I need to look this up. I didn't even know that was a thing until he mentioned it.
I mean, like, what are you doing? You just like packing submarines, like botched submarines full of cocaine and sending it to Cuba?
It does kind of look that way, yeah.
No way. I'm looking this up right now.
Look it up. It's a big cityscape too. It's not. It doesn't look like it's one of the cheap like mobile type games. It looks like it's a proper like full thing.
Oh my god! It's like a oh no!
Holy shit!
No.
Okay.
What was a joke is now intriguement.
There's a demo out right now on Steam.
It's a story-driven business sim inspired by the '80s narco trade.
Oh my god!
I'm fucking in.
Sim. I'm in.
I might stream this. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Good God! Here
you
we are.
attack people too. Looks like you have like cartel wars. Look at this. You got. Oh my god! And you have to clean money. Oh, that's fantastic. There's not. I mean, it's absolutely illegal and no one should do it. But man, anyone who's watched Ozarks, dude, there's nothing more I want to do than talk to somebody who like launders money and cleans money. I mean, that's some crazy shit. That's some crazy accounting.
I'm gonna have to probably play this game.
This is incredible. You own like assets and stuff like that. You take over shit. This is cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Can we run a cartel together?
Yeah,
just do some co-op.
Ooh, Brody, next weekend.
Yeah, like how the last SimCity game was, where you could collaborate with other people and have an entire region.
That'd be awesome.
Oh my god, yeah, Brody. Next weekend when I come over, we should make decisions like on one account, but make decisions on one account together and see if our
for a let's play.
yeah, we should totally do that. I can't believe like
that'd be so cool.
Rockstar hasn't made something like this.
Yeah, it does seem like it'd be kind of
like made
alley.
this and it was like paired up with like your stuff in game. You know what I mean?
So this is the same people. It looks like it's the same people that Tiny Build I think is the publisher for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they published Graveyard Keeper and Hello Neighbor as well. Streets of Rogue, Cluster Truck, Speedrunners, Hellpoint, Pathologic 2.
Holy crap.
Okay.
Walking, Party Hard, Guts and Glory, Streets of Rogue. Man.
Look at
Swag
that.
and Sorcery. They on it. Sweet.
They on it.
You know what?
You have my attention.
Yeah.
You have my attention. And then Marvel's Avengers. I mean, I really would like to play an Avengers game, but I hear it's just absolute doo-doo. So I don't.
It's not great, and they're just getting ready to make it worse. So they're making it harder to level even than what it was. And
come on,
this game's just
be nice. Be nice.
You think it's better?
I don't know.
Wait. Don't answer that question. I don't want to lie.
You don't have to lie on this show. It's fine. We
no,
it's things
extremely blunt, man. This show.
No, actually, I haven't played. I haven't played any of it. It wasn't on my radar. There was things about it when they announced it, and when the game first dropped, that was really intriguing. I did like how Kamala Khan was the central character, even though like the other Marvel universe heroes were there and stuff like that. But I don't know. I still pine for the days that we have Marvel's Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
Even I didn't get the one for Switch because I don't know. I guess I was kind of like, why is it just got to be on Switch? I have a Switch, but I was like, why can't it be? Because I don't know if I'd be able to find like my friends who I used to play like X-Men, like the X-Men games and the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. Like I feel like they wouldn't want to play with me on the Switch. So I just didn't get it for Switch. It'd be nice, if it wasn't exclusive.
Yeah, and 3 was pretty decent. I played a little bit of it. I didn't. I don't know if I got quite the same vibes as 1 and 2, just because there's a certain amount of rose-colored glasses for 1 and 2. But 3 was still pretty good. I did enjoy it, and there was a lot of good additions as far as characters go and things like that in there.
Mine's just like the childhood dream where it's like you just want to play as all the superheroes, but then you're let down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even.
I've heard
let down.
I've heard enough. I've heard enough things about Avengers as like, you know what? Maybe when it becomes like bargain basement and we know they've fixed everything, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I played a decent amount of it, but I don't know. It's another one I don't necessarily want to go back to.
In other news, the first digital direct Square Enix presents will take place on March 18th, and it's actually topical, at 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. Pacific. The presentation will last roughly 40 minutes and is set to feature the next Life is Strange experience, as well as new trailers and announcements for upcoming games. And other things mentioned as well are Outriders, Marvel's Avengers, Tomb Raider's 25th anniversary, a new Square Enix Montreal game, new Square Enix Montreal games, Just Cause Mobile, Balan Underworld, and Tato, which is Square Sisters company. Square Enix sister company. Square Sisters.
Square Sisters.
Square Sisters.
Oh my god!
It sounds like a sister you don't want to hang out with. That's what
right. Exactly. Yeah. So, to be honest with you, like I'm not a huge Square Enix guy, so I'm just kind of. Cool.
I like Final Fantasy. I like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is cool. But I'm not a huge Tomb Raider guy either. Just Cause Mobile sounds like a bad idea.
Throws it out there.
Remember the glory days of PlayStation 1 when Square and Square Enix could do no wrong?
Oh yeah. Those days have come and gone.
I don't get the big hype for Life is Strange.
I can't get into that style of game.
Life is Strange for me is just one of those things. I have to be in the mood to play it. I kind of understand. Honestly, anyone that enjoys narrative style games, I completely get, because like I love like the games like Heavy Rain, Detroit Become Human, and stuff like that. So I understand like the narrative style games, but Life is Strange. Is just not quite my thing. It's a little too fantastical, if that makes sense for me. And it's just one of those. It's just one of those things. That's how it goes. Not that I'm downing on it or anything. It's just
And Tato, isn't that like arcade machines?
Yeah, for the most part. Arcade
like
machines. They do toys and stuff too.
That's everywhere in Japan. Maybe we'll get one of those.
There you go.
For PlayStation 5. It'd be great.
like the Donkey Kong bongo drums from GameCube.
My god, yes, dude. Bongo Blast.
Oh yeah.
That was the man, those were a pile of shit. Like they felt so cheap, dude. But they were fun.
The best part about it was when you turned the GameCube on and like you played them as you would turn it on, it would make all sorts of different sounds, different from what the actual GameCube controller would make, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It was like that was the coolest part of it. I'm like, yeah, look at this. It makes this sound now.
Such a simpler time.
Oh yeah. I need to play Outriders. I know the demo's out and I haven't gotten around to playing it yet. I haven't downloaded because it's kind of that Destiny-esque type game.
What was the consensus on it though so far from people?
Not great. It's not.
Why is it like not as great? Like what was the reason? I saw some stuff.
It feels very linear. The drop rates are pretty bad.
Those are easy fixes.
It seems like those are easy fixes, right? Exactly. And with it being a demo, there's plenty of chance for them to turn this around. But it does seem like, again, I have not played it, but from everything I've read, it seems like there's some potential there, but most people just weren't quite sold on it, and they said it's like, dollar store Destiny, essentially, right?
I want to hear Corey's take on it.
The man that has his own Destiny podcast.
The man that's the most, the biggest Destiny fan out there. I'd like to hear his take on it and like honest opinion on it. Of like, hey, does he think it could compete if they fix, the drop rates and stuff like that, some smaller things?
Yeah, I don't know how the gameplay is. Nobody really talked too much about the gameplay from a lot of what I've read. It just seemed like everything was kind of mild, kind of like the Avengers experience to an extent, where it's just like it's there. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not something you want to just invest a ton of time in.
Yeah. Ed just flat out said in chat, Outriders is not good. just flat out.
Yeah, he needs a disclaimer. Well, he needs to clean that up. Outriders demo is not that good.
Right.
Yeah,
we don't know what the final. We don't know what the final product is going to be just yet.
Thank you, because that's a huge problem nowadays with games, podcast, journalism, all this stuff. Just like so quick to just shit on a game, when they're offering an alpha or a beta for people to play, and then they're just like, this is awful. Well, thank God it's not the production.
Well, to be fair, we did that with Anthem, but we were right.
Yeah, but we also, but when we first played Anthem, from what I remember when we came on the podcast, and that was like our sixth or seventh episode was talking Anthem.
It was early.
Yeah, but like when we first were talking about Anthem, we had said, hey, like we really want this to be good. How we played it was not good, but man, this would be great if they would make some of these changes. And I don't see how they stirred off of like make me feel like Iron Man. Literally, right. You could have just done that and I would have been happy with the game, but they made it so much different. And then we tried again and we're like, nah, this is broken. This game's bad. And then we unleashed on it. And then, yes, that's where we shit down its throat for the last couple of years, where we're just like, this is awful. Or where I've said, well, at least it's not Anthem. I believe at one point I called it one line of code away from being malware. And I just
that's hardcore.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's a bad game. Like, it's not good. It's not good. And they had, they showed what they showed versus what was in game is totally different. Like, remember when we were first playing it, and the way that you enter the game, you're in like that market, and you come out of your suit for the first time, and you are walking through the market, and we both spun. We're like, let's just spin the camera for a second, and we're both gonna throw the hell up because they put such a massive motion blur on this shit that I was just like, oh my God. And then the graphics were not nearly as good as what they had shown off. And I guess during that time, especially like E3 when that was a thing, they, a lot of people were doing that where they would just show something and it was completely not what it was in the retail version of the game, which sucks. And finally people have clued in. Companies have been like, hey, we can't do this shit that much anymore. But I'm sure we'll get back to it.
Actually, let me ask a question, because I'm looking at the chat right now. Do you think the problem with the Outriders demo right now is that they're throwing too much flash at you but not enough substance?
It seems like some of the problem is a mixture of not enough substance and too much time to get to the substance. It seems like the load times have been pretty abysmal as well, which is not helping anything. Which is, I mean, that's a huge thing with this generation, right? Like, hey, there's practically zero load times. So then, especially if you're playing on a PS5, you're used to practically no load times, or Xbox Series X, but these new gen consoles, and then you try to go back to having load times again. It fucking sucks, man. Like, I refuse to touch my Xbox now just because I'm so used to having the PlayStation 5 where everything's like right now, and to go back to actually having load times and weird things like that. I'm good. I'll just wait until I can find a Series X, and then I'll go back to some of the games that I wanted to play on Xbox, but I can't do it right now. And so I think that's something they're gonna have to get working properly for Outriders if they want that to succeed, because load times anymore are going to become a thing where, hey, if this loads for more than 15 seconds, like, this is shit, throw it away. Yada.
Also, the PC has become it was the beginning of the end for me with console gaming. Honestly, once I actually got into PC gaming, like playing certain games on the console because they were exclusively on the consoles became more of a major task than anything I was ready to deal with. And it took kicking and screaming for me to get back into the console ecosystem. But I tell you what, when the PS5 came out and I got it, and I was like, man, like, the load times, I'm actually starting to enjoy this again now. Yeah. That's the thing. That's been the saving grace for consoles now.
Yeah, I'd have to get some more SSD on my PC to actually store most of my games on there. Most of them are still just stored on a regular drive, but
I've got to get more SSD on my PS5, like everyone else in this world.
Well, yeah, that as well.
Well, they're supposed to, apparently they're supposed to be unlocking that soon. Like there's rumors that they're trying to get it unlocked by July, I think.
And then it's going to cost like $400 for a.
Well, I also think that's something that's going to happen too. I think the market for SSDs for the M.2 SSDs are going to start dropping down a little, not dramatically. You're not going to be able to buy a 1 terabyte. You're not going to be able to buy like a 2 terabyte for like under $300. But they're supposed to come down.
Do we know what the max is on that board?
We don't know. Actually, they didn't say what the max is. I'm gonna say the sweet spot is probably a 2 terabyte was what you guys want, and maybe the max is a 4 terabyte. Those are pricey already, but
Oh yeah.
I think the average gamer is just gonna be happy if they can drop a 1 terabyte in there. And guys, don't waste your time to get a 256 or a 512. Just get a 1 terabyte.
No, you gotta at least get a 1 terabyte. I mean, 256 isn't even gonna house Call of Duty at this point.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
We ain't here to play.
No. Nah.
Man. It's gonna be interesting. I'm worried though that the market goes up because we continue to have supply chain issues.
I don't think hard drives and solid state drives are
with the M.2 stuff, because there's so much more like board to them.
Well, that is true. There are more components, for that. So it's a possibility, but I haven't really seen. Well, I have seen a spike in hard drive and SSD sales, but it hasn't been crazy like graphics cards.
Graphics cards, yeah.
And CPUs. It hasn't been crazy like graphics cards and CPUs, because man, like I'm kind of glad I got my 3900X Ryzen, because I thought about getting the 5950, and that sucker disappeared at the moment it went up for pre-release, and then the price went up immediately after.
Mm-hmm. So you've got supply chain issues. You got people mining like crazy right now for different crypto.
Yep.
I was looking to upgrade my PC, and not right now. I'm gonna have to wait. There's no way I'm paying those prices. I mean, even just not even crazy graphics cards, like just simple basic graphics cards are just insane right now.
I just sold my 1080 Ti to somebody, and they are worshiping me right now because I sold it to them at what the recommended cost would have been for it used, not what. If you go online right now and look at that card is like a third more than what it was retail.
Oh yeah.
And that's a 10 series graphics card. That's not even a 20 series graphics card.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's if you can even find one. I mean,
yeah, because people are snatching them up.
Yep. It's nuts. So Nintendo Japan is done repairing the 3DS.
No.
Apparently Nintendo Japan has Apparently, Nintendo Japan has run out of the parts to repair the consoles and have officially called it quits on the 3DS a few weeks prior to the original date they announced, which was originally supposed to be March 31st. This only applies to the original 3DS and 3DS XL. They will still continue to repair the new 3DS, new 3DS XL, and 2DS models. This is the end of a very long era.
It's quite impressive.
It really is. I'm glad that we finally are to the point where it's like, hey, no, we're just going to continue with the Switch for the most part.
3DS on in years.
Yeah, I mean, I still have mine. I went through and maybe made a few modifications to it, and then I set it on a shelf and haven't touched it anymore. What?
Any good modifications?
I homebrewed it.
Okay.
So, I didn't do anything like
you
physical.
didn't.
Right. Homebrewing's not illegal.
Someone did.
Homebrewing's not illegal. Downloading software is illegal.
That part.
That's fair. You should never download software. Just simply homebrew to use the user interface and use it for nothing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. I literally did all of that work, which was a nightmare and a half, and got it done, and I put it on a shelf, and I haven't touched it since. So there you go. I couldn't even do anything illegal because it's been sitting on a shelf. Probably still has battery charge, though, because that thing's just insane.
Homebrewed my Wii U.
Yeah.
But I didn't play any games on it because I just felt like it being homebrew was just perfect and I could just let it be.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's part of the challenge.
Would be illegal.
The challenge is it's about the road to get there, not the actual final destination, Jeff.
How many 3DSs do you think that they received where a kid gnawed on the pencil or stylus?
I have gnawed on the stylus of mine.
But there were teeth marks on the stylus.
I have 100% gnawed on mine.
Or
you get bored and you like pull it out and you're
indents in the touchscreen.
I don't have any indents in my touchscreen, but
from pushing too hard on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still amazed that they actually service it.
I guarantee.
That's wild.
I guarantee you, when that game Rhythm Heaven was out, man, Nintendo probably got inundated with busted touchscreens.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
especially after seeing the Beyonce commercial where she was just like
beating the shit out of it. Yeah, so let's make a game where people beat the shit out of the bottom screen, the more expensive screen on this device.
Right.
Oh my god! So how many years is that?
I just looked it up. Came out in March 2011.
Shut up! 10 years of service support. 10 years of chewed on styluses and people sending in their 3DSs that have been homebrewed and they go, "Sir, we can't fix this."
Wait. What are we talking about? Wait, that was a 3DS, not the DS.
That's not even the original DS. So the Nintendo...
The DS is stopped though, right? Warranty?
Oh, I'm sure. Sure it stopped a few years back.
We say that, but this is the company that sold everybody cardboard for $80.
Fair enough.
Anything is
the
open.
Nintendo DS came out November 21st, 2004.
Oh my god.
17 fucking years ago.
You know what? You know what's crazy though? Like
holy shit.
I actually say the DS and the 3DS are the same family. I do. Yeah. I just feel like the 3DS
for sure.
I just feel like the 3DS was basically just a slight hardware, well, not even a slight. It was a hardware update to the DS because you can still play your DS games on your 3DS. So I feel like it was just an update. It was just it was a more exclusive update, but it was an update.
My biggest
Yeah,
thing
but at the
too
same
was
time, all 3DS games you couldn't play on the DS, so it
That's-
was
yeah.
kind of almost like it was like a new. It was like a half generation.
3D was
almost.
huge, right? Remember, everyone's like, "Oh, I got to get a 3D TV." So my family can all
Yeah.
sit there with glasses on and we can watch
Okay.
Spy Kids in 3D.
Okay, gimmick, and more gimmick, and all gimmicks.
Yes.
Because God, the 3D mode on 3DS gave me headaches.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
It was awful.
It was awful. What was crazy
And the
too
other-
is the original DS I had. I got like the OG DS, and then like a couple months later they came with the DS Lite because they're like, wait, this shit is like a brick. We could make this a lot lighter, and everyone else had those cool looking DS Lites. I just sat there with like my OG one. I'm like,
That silver
shit.
clamshell thing.
Yes, but the other crazy thing with it too is, it was ahead of its time because you were still able to play Mario 64 not in 4x3 like you currently have to on the fucking Switch.
Yeah.
I love that you throw that shot anytime
Always.
you get a chance.
It's so lazy. You own it.
It's bad.
You know,
It's bad.
you know,
You probably lost the source.
You know
code
what,
or some bullshit.
I am so glad that I am with you guys tonight because I'm one of Boss Rush Games' biggest Nintendo critics.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
and for
They're
and
the
for
Disney of video games. The fandom
Right.
is toxic.
Oh,
For-
Ed's in the
for
chat.
every-
He's gonna start popping off.
for every one thing Nintendo does right, they do 7 things wrong in my eyes.
absolutely.
In my
Oh,
eyes,
absolutely,
I
yeah.
didn't say they do it. I said in my eyes, they do 7 things
Yeah.
wrong. For
Oh, no,
every
they
one
do
thing
it.
They do right.
They do
Yeah,
it. They
100%
fully
do
do
it.
it. bro. Yeah, they fully do it. I mean, here's my thing too, right? If you never put Mario 64 outside of 4x3 ratio, then okay, cool, I'll take that. But the fact that you did it in 2004 and then now you give me now you go to put on a system, right? That the fucking sides of it slide off and become a different controller, it goes in a dock, all this crazy shit, and you can't do that? Come on. That's lazy as shit. That's
But
lazy.
But it's on brand for Nintendo. Like they're porting, and it's justifiable. They're porting games from a system that didn't sell well at all. And I'm talking about the Wii U. But it's also on brand that they would do this, But it's also what I also say though. Like we the fans and the customers allow them to do this stuff because I guarantee you, if more people complained about the fact that Mario 64 was basically just a slipshod port that was barely emulated. Yep. Nintendo would sit back and listen, like, okay, we can't half-ass the next Mario, Zelda, or Metroid game that we put on a collection. But
it's because it was Mario. Nobody gave a shit. Like that's the other crazy, amazing thing to me. It's like and that's why I say it's the Disney of video games because you look at like Disney. When the fuck did you care about a Mickey Mouse cartoon?
This is true.
Like when I like Mario Odyssey, but all the other Mario games aside from like Mario Golf, which I'm excited for, I don't really care about. I don't care. It's the Mickey Mouse of video games, and I just kind of like sit there and I'm like, all right.
This is gonna be the episode where we get fucking chased with pitchforks and
but like seriously though, like
you guys invited the right person for this episode.
Right, but like if that's your staple character, that's what you fucking do with it. That's just lazy.
Yeah.
And people are going to buy it. And most people bought it for collector's purposes. I bought the physical version because I'm like, I'm going to hold on to this shit. And I could probably sell it in a couple years or whatever for someone that didn't get it and whatever. But it's like, if you did that with Zelda, there's no way.
They would riot.
People lose their damn mind.
Oh, absolutely. I would
right,
feel
but why?
that riot.
But why?
Listen
because
here.
he's the Mickey Mouse.
He's
the Mickey Mouse of Nintendo. If they fucking did that with Luigi's Mansion, okay, like the DS version of it, they port to it or whatever, and they end up putting like 4x3 or they square it 4x3 on GameCube, like the GameCube version of it. People lose their fucking mind. Luigi, they would lose their mind about Luigi. They don't care about Mario.
It's true though. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you're
can't,
not wrong.
I can't fault your logic. I can't fault your logic.
And so Jeff got some hands and cake and ribs coming from me. Oh shit! I don't know. I mean, like I like the company a lot. I think they have incredible IP.
Mhm.
So does Disney.
That's just, but yeah. That's just it. That's
yeah.
just it, though. Like, I mean, if it wasn't for Nintendo, we wouldn't have even half the gamers that we have in this day and age. But at the same time, just like how we turn around and say that, you know, for us being, you know, like bloggers and vloggers and all this stuff in the industry and stuff like that, we're influencers. Nintendo still needs to influence, and they need to make sure they're doing a pretty decent job about it too.
Smart cardboard.
You know.
Smart cardboard.
That's the thing with Nintendo, though. They, like you said, for each thing they do right, they do 7 other things.
But they're
wrong.
also
and
looking into that stuff, dude, to get into like education. What they want to do with that shit is get into the education system, and then, you know, a bunch of school boards have to buy that shit. And then the kids go home.
I'm not even specifically talking about Labo, but I mean, like, you know, Breath of the Wild knocked it out of the park. Absolutely killed it. Odyssey was great. The Switch as a whole is fantastic. The online is absolute dog shit.
Yes. Oh my god, yo, tell your Smash story.
Oh yeah, I recorded some Smash videos to put up on the YouTube, and half of them were like a PowerPoint presentation. Like I couldn't combo anything. Like everything was just the worst fucking like frame rate I've ever seen in my entire life. It was awful. Awful. I've seen PowerPoint presentations move quicker, actually. It was bad. Very bad. And I love Smash. Smash is one of my favorite games. And just to try to play it online is terrible. The app is a useless waste of space on my phone.
Yeah.
There is no reason to even have this app. It
Might
doesn't
I add,
do
like
anything.
Most Nintendo apps.
It's pointless. It does nothing. Absolutely nothing. Terrible.
Might introduce you to the Pokemon teeth brushing.
The eShop is a fracking potato too.
Yeah, the eShop's a disaster.
Which is why
it's like here's the place where we sell our games at, and it's a challenge to navigate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even getting to your games is not nearly as easy as it should be. I mean, you have like 7 of them on the front screen, and then you go into a list of, and it's all arranged by, I mean, you can change what it's arranged by, but it's not ideal. I mean, some folders would be nice to clean that up or something. And it's just, there's little things that, like, they made themes such a big part of the 3DS, and then on the Switch, they haven't touched them, even though it would absolutely print money for them. I would love for my Switch to not just be a black screen. That would be great. But
why isn't there an updated version of the Virtual Console? And when I say updated, I mean hell, give us fucking Game Boy Advance games. Give us DS games, not 3DS, because obviously 3DS is still going.
Make a subscription service.
Hey, that's
and
what,
it's a la carte. If you want like all of these Game Boy Advance games, you pay $5.99, $9.99. If you want all these Game Boy Advance and GameCube, you tack it on. You get access to them like a Game Pass. The amount of money that they could make if they actually got their shit figured out for online would be disgusting.
The problem is Nintendo thinks they're smarter than us, so they don't want to listen to our ideas. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
But they don't get it. They don't get it because they could be okay. If you look at sales, technically they are the number one selling, you know, publisher. Console, right? Publisher, yeah, they're the number one out there if you look at it like that. But at the same time, you can't turn around and ask like PlayStation and, you know, Xbox gamers and PC gamers, is Nintendo the number one seller? No, they're not going to say that. The reason why is because time and time again, you know, the only people that really care about Nintendo are Nintendo fans.
Yeah, you can't say shit.
And their market's a little bit different. It's like the family and like kid friendly type market for the most part. I mean, obviously, I still love my Switch. I play a lot of Switch games, but like Mario is not marketed in a way that is necessarily for, you know, somebody who's playing their first game at like 20 years old or something like that. It's a game that is much more accessible to families.
LeBron just was nope.
Who put that
in the chat? Ed wrote, "It's Japan, not America." Lauren goes, "Nope, that's not true."
Oh man,
my favorite too is Nick in here goes, "Still haven't touched the touch screen, even though you guys told me there was one." And he didn't know. He didn't know there was a touch screen on it.
My answer to Ed's statement is like no, because American Nintendo fans are just as fanatical as Japanese Nintendo fans.
Oh my god, yeah. I would say even more. I bet you Japan is kind of like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's chill. And then the American culture is just like, it's the super geek culture about Japan. Just like Japan has to fucking love this, but there's this massive language barrier to which they don't know what's going on, so they freak out about it.
If anybody has worked in any video game store, and I'm not just saying GameStop, because I guarantee you Best Buy employees have this problem. I guarantee you Toys R Us employees have this problem. Nintendo fans are absolute time suckers when they walk into your store. And I'm not saying this to make them look bad. I'm just saying, like, man, Nintendo fans come to your store and your productivity is shot for at least 50 minutes.
Oh yeah, 100%. Someone has to tell you. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna get into it. I don't know. My last statement is Animal Crossing is just okay. I mean, congratulations, we're playing a fucking mobile game for $60 on the Switch. Like that's it. My biggest annoyance in this whole thing. It's like, man, like everyone turned it to a coping mechanism during COVID, which is fine. I whatever you want, a sense of community. If you want a sense of community, don't use the backbone infrastructure of Nintendo's online infrastructure. If you want a fucking community with 2 people on your island. Like I just,
that's the other thing too. It got nominations and awards for so many things. It got best multiplayer. How? There's only one other person in your island at a time.
It's terrible multiplayer. it takes like 10 minutes to set up multiplayer and finally go to someone's island and watch all the
win a Nobel Prize
cutscenes and
God.
You know what? I understand. Like you said, it was a wonderful coping mechanism for when COVID set in and stuff like that.
What wasn't? Alcohol was fucking Cheez-Its. People watch dumb shit on TV, right?
There's a reason why we had such a thing called the COVID-15. Like people gained weight.
People were fucking doing macrame, dude. Anything's a coping mechanism when you're locked in your fucking house.
My favorite thing was you knew what the online recipe of the week was based on when you went to your store and discovered that something was not on the
sourdough bread. We made fucking shitty bread to cope with being alone house. Anything went, dude. Anything was good.
Yeah, but I mean, fermentation is obviously the best coping mechanism.
Yeah, right. The fermentation of my bread. Like I just don't. I feel like after this whole crazy thing ends, which hopefully it looks like it's starting to go down pretty good for us, but it's like, I think we're all gonna look back and be like, holy shit! Like we just flat out made so many things coping. And we just put a title to everything, man. Like you see the clickbait article, why people are finding strength and hope within Animal Crossing, which I get it. Games bring that, I get that, but in terms of actual communication between human beings, Animal Crossing is
Animal Crossing wasn't it. That's not it.
I didn't challenge that by itself, because you know what, the people who found the strength and the conviction with Animal Crossing were not your conventional gamers, because I have 3 roommates.
That's true.
I have 3 roommates, and me and one of the roommate, we are gamers. The other 2 roommates are not. Yeah. And my one roommate found out I had a Switch, and she was begging me to go buy Animal Crossing. I was like, oh, hell no, you're not going to have my damn Switch up downstairs in the living room, and I can't even play it.
You go buy Animal Crossing so I can play it on your Switch. Sure, sound logic.
So yeah, like I mean, unconventional, and you know what? I'll give Nintendo points for that because just like with the Wii, they were able to snag brand new people who did not even realize they were gamers with Animal Crossing. And you know what? I can't knock that hustle. I can't, but I guarantee you, my ass is over here playing Bayonetta 2 while everybody else is playing, Animal Crossing. My ass is over here playing Luigi's Mansion when everybody was playing Animal Crossing. I was not playing Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing doesn't have a sale in my house, actually.
Yo,
I played it. I did play it. I had never played it before, and it was fine.
I played the original.
Literally,
I played the original too.
I played it long enough to pay off my house, and then once that
Was it
carrot
thrilling?
at the end of the I guess once the carrot at the end of the stick was gone, I didn't care anymore.
Was
so
it thrilling
that's about where I was
being
at.
in debt to a fucking raccoon?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But I'd rather be in debt to a raccoon or a fucking bank. So I mean,
But what if the raccoon also owns the fucking bank?
Tom Nook. He does.
Yeah, he does, exactly. I mean, it was crazy too, though, to Laurent's point there. Like, my mom called me, like, probably 4 or 5 months ago back home. And they're like, hey, me and your dad are thinking about getting a Switch. And I'm like, don't do it. And they're like, but why? I'm like, don't do it. I'm like, she's like, we're seeing it like everywhere and people talking about it. I'm like, yeah, you guys aren't gonna fucking play it. It's gonna sit there. And she's like, oh, but and then she said Animal Crossing, and I went, oh my god, no, we gotta stop. This is like a pandemic in itself. I'm like, we gotta stop.
My mom did that too, actually. And when I was growing up, I kid you not, these are her exact words. Sometimes when she would get upset at me about me playing the Nintendo, she was like, if you don't turn that ding ding mess off, and then
mess.
Fast forward to 2020.
Damn.
She's asking me about Nintendo Switch and what's this Animal Crossing thing. And I was like,
you are playing that ding ding mess.
I was like, Mom, I was like, you don't even play apps on your phone. You are not going to try and bamboozle me into spending $300 plus another $60 for you to play one game. When you said my joy of gaming would not lead me to a good satisfying career, which it did, by the way.
Yo,
just saying.
Yo, I'm amazed. I'm gonna use ding ding noise all the time.
Ding ding
mess.
Or ding ding mess. Sorry, yeah.
I
ding
kid
ding
you
mess.
not. She hit me one time. She was like, if you don't turn that ding ding mess off right now, I'm going to throw it in the trash.
Ding ding.
That's
mess.
awesome.
Oh my god, it's fantastic. Moving on, last piece of news. We got off on a tangent from them not repairing 3DSs anymore, but whatever.
Oh yeah. It's just another installment of LeBron ruins Nintendo for everybody.
That's okay. We keep it real here, man.
I'm impressed. Ed kept his cool pretty good there. I thought he was going to start going off.
Oh, I guarantee you.
He's going to hit you up later.
I guarantee I'm gonna log on to Twitter and there's going to be like a freaking thesaurus full of stuff going down in my chat.
Yeah. Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda is now final. It's complete. So with news of the completion, Microsoft has announced that 20 Bethesda games are being added to Game Pass on March 12th. So you've got Dishonored Definitive Edition coming to console, PC, and cloud. This is all going to be confusing because there's 3 tiers.
Hang on, Jeff. They just removed Dishonored from
yes,
Game Pass.
No. They suspended it, Laurent, and now they're coming back at you again with it. Because now they've bought every fucking thing that they can, and now they don't know what the hell to put on Game Pass. Okay, Dishonored 2 is coming to console, PC, and cloud. Doom 1993 comes to console, PC, and cloud. Doom 2 comes to console, PC, and cloud. Doom 3 comes to console, PC, and cloud. Microsoft, I wish you would just do Game Pass as one instance. Doom 64 comes to console, PC, and cloud. And Doom Eternal comes to console, PC, and cloud. The Elder Scrolls 3, 4... Sorry, I wish I could say 3, 4, and 5 would do that, but the Elder Scrolls 3 and 4, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind comes to console and PC, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion comes to console and PC, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition comes to console, PC, and cloud. Because it's fucking Skyrim, so it has to come to one more thing.
I should have split these into sections. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right. I got it.
It's
console, okay.
PC,
we
cloud.
got it. The Elder Scrolls Online will come to cloud and console, which it was already on console. Did they fucking remove that too?
I don't think it was part of Game Pass on console, though.
Are you sure?
No. That's why I said I don't think. I don't know.
We're getting bamboozled.
Last I
boys.
looked, it wasn't, but it's been a little bit. I haven't turned to my console for a while.
The Evil Within comes to console, PC, and cloud. Pass. Fallout 4 comes to console, PC, and cloud. Fallout 76, console, PC, and cloud. Fallout New Vegas, only to console. Fuck you. It's not coming to PC and cloud. Because they don't want it.
I don't think it aimed at anything other than console.
You know, fine. I don't want your fucking Fallout game.
Yeah. Prey is coming to console, PC, and cloud. Rage 2 is coming to console, PC, and cloud. And then all of the Wolfensteins, Wolfenstein New Order, The Old Blood, and Young Blood are coming to console, PC, and cloud. On top of the Game Pass announcement, it has also been revealed that the majority of Bethesda games will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. And then we got a statement from P3, the old Phil Spencerino, saying, hey,
yeah, this happened during the roundtable today.
Yeah, he says, I'm going to try to be as clear as I can because that's what I just think it's fair. Works for Microsoft, so it's going to be about as clear as mud. So obviously, I can't sit here and say every Bethesda game is exclusive because we know that's not true. So what the fuck is it, Phil? There's contractual obligations that we're going to see through, as we always do in every one of these instances. They're upset that they can't get exclusivity, so their entire team of lawyers is going after it. We have games that exist on other platforms, and we're going to go support those games on the platforms they're on. I probably won't. There are communities of players. Fantastic. We love those communities, and we'll continue to invest in them on Microsoft's platforms. And even in the future, there might be things that have either contractual things or legacy on different platforms that we'll go do. But probably not. But if you're an Xbox customer, the thing I want you to know is that this is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists, and that's our goal. That's why we're doing this. That's the root of this partnership that we're building and the creative capability we'll be able to bring to market for our Xbox customers. It is going to be the best it's ever been for Xbox after we're done here. I hope to God, because we spent billions of dollars on this. Phil Spencer.
there was a few ad-lib things in there, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't open up with, I'm going to be clear, and then say, so obviously, I can't sit here and say, what the fuck?
Essentially what he's saying is all of the games that are already out on different platforms are going to stay there. Going forward, if they continue with things like your Elder Scrolls Online, your Fallout 76, stuff like that, that will probably still be cross-platform. But from the way it's worded, which is pretty much the same way it's been worded the entire time, it sounds like a lot of the upcoming Bethesda games will be exclusive, except for something like Deathloop that is already in contract with Sony. Mm-hmm. So there's a few exceptions, right, of things that they've already made contracts for, or even if they have contracts for fucking Elder Scrolls 82 or whatever the fuck they have going on, right? Those are really going to be the only things that seem like they're really going to make it off of either PC or the Xbox platform.
Laurent, I've got IT question. It's going to be pretty quick. Yeah. How good is Microsoft at creating a unified ecosystem consisting of hardware, services, and software, and supporting it through its life cycle?
They're about as good as my 1-year-old nephew is at it.
Cool. They're not going to support shit. They're going to find legal ways to get out of it, which makes sense. Mm-hmm. They're going to get everything onto Xbox, and that's how it's going to work. I agree with you. The Elder Scrolls Online, Brody, probably. But I think eventually they'll fray it into where you can only get the update, or you'll get exclusive update. Like you'll get this exclusive thing on Game Pass, and then they'll try to wean some people over to it. But yeah, other stuff, like I doubt they're going to support shit on Sony's, and I doubt they're going to support shit on. I mean, I know that they have a relationship with Steam now with a bunch of stuff, but
and they kind of have a relationship with Nintendo, and and that's the crazy thing about it too. Like they were just building like something nice and strong with Nintendo now, and it's like you know what? we're gonna see if Nintendo becomes the third-rate citizen of the gaming community. we're gonna see because I love this aggressive tactic they're using right now to basically force everybody to get Game Pass if they don't have a Microsoft system.
Yep. I mean,
I like it. I like it.
From their standpoint, it's smart. I mean,
I agree. I totally think it's smart. I just know, one, with working with this company, not as an employee of Microsoft, but working with this company in the past, using their products and fixing their products, they are awful at ecosystems. Their shit never talks to each other. The only product that's decent is Office. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Office is the only thing. Yeah.
Even just between my computer at home and the Surface that I use for work, it still does not communicate properly. I don't like it's absolutely fucked. Just 100%.
But you can play Skyrim on it now, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, I think this is smart from their point of view, and they've kind of been tiptoeing it around it for a little while, and now they've been a little bit more direct. It certainly is still, like you said, clear as mud, right? But
yeah, there's a lot of legal jargon.
There's a lot of legal jargon, and on top of that, like it's been a real interesting conversation because there's a lot of people that are upset, like people who play on PlayStation, that are very upset about this ordeal. But and I wanted to get Laurent's take on this because he runs Crossroads, right? So I wanted to see kind of where he stood on this because from my point of view, I have a PS5, right? That is now my main console. I will eventually get an Xbox Series X, and I have my PC. So I still have a way to play Bethesda games. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it is entirely unfair what they're doing. And actually, I don't think it's unfair by any means.
No, I don't think it's unfair either. I just think it's going to be unfair for everybody, the fact that Microsoft can't make a solid ecosystem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The end user is the person that suffers.
There's people that are up in arms about it because Sony had these studios for a long time. This is a new thing. This isn't fair, but it is fair. It's fucking business. That's how business works.
Dude, okay, cool. Let's put Uncharted on Game Pass, and then all these people will be like, "Whoa, hold the fuck on."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hang on.
Hold. Yeah, you can't say something like that. Fuck off with that.
What I'll say about this is, you know what, it's getting a taste of your own medicine, for the most part, because as Sony fanboys, we wagged all sorts of fingers that we had Kratos, that we had Nathan Drake, that we had this, that we had that, and all Microsoft really seemed to have was Gears of War, was Halo, was
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata, yeah. Yeah. So it's as Sony fanboys, we are getting a taste of our own medicine here because it's one of those things. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and you know what? The ultimate prize here was the fact that who could get some IPs that we really cared about, and Microsoft just happened to get it. Now that's not to say that there's still other IPs out there. Yeah, exactly. There's not to say that there's still other IPs out there that Sony can win the day with. Like Sony can definitely win the day. If they grab some Konami stuff. Because Konami can't seem to handle a wet paper bag right now. There's
no one
things
is
out there
safe.
There's things out there that can be done, but I feel like this is a good dose of ice water to the face for Sony fans. I say that as a person that runs a Sony podcast site, a Sony podcast show. I say this because it's real and it's realistic.
Yeah.
Now here's what I will say. For the people out there who are clutching their pearls because this is happening, this doesn't mean there's just going to be a lack of IPs There's not because yeah, like Nintendo would definitely like to have more IPs than it has right now. Microsoft wanted more IPs than they had right now, which is why they made the acquisition for ZeniMax Media. Yeah. Sony's been snatching up studios too, so it's not like there's this big vacuum and there's this power struggle going on where all of a sudden North Korea has every piece of nuclear device in it as disposal while the rest of the world is cowering under rocks and stuff like that. Now this stuff happens, and you want to know what's cool about this whole thing is that this is Bethesda, but looking to the future, who knows when brand new studios show up and start making killer games and they say, hey, we want to put this on Sony. Hey, we want to put this on Nintendo. Hey, we want to put this on the PC. Hey, we want to put this on the Xbox,
First Bethesda game to come is going to be Deathloop.
Yeah. And I'm getting it. I was intrigued enough.
They have some sort of exclusivity with Sony. I don't remember what the details of all that was, but
it's probably like a free set of boots or something.
And don't get me wrong, I've had some of my friends who are dyed-in-the-wool Microsoft fans. They're like, well, what do you think about the Bethesda stuff and all this stuff? I was like, I didn't want to sound like I was being condescending, but I was like, good on them, because honestly, right now, Microsoft has a lot of catching up to do. Like Switch is just running rampant right now in the gaming community with their handhold on stuff. As far as and Corona helped Nintendo out tremendously.
Casual gaming.
Oh
yeah. Sony is showing a very promising, showing for the PS5 right now, despite the fact that there's hardware issues going on right now. Sony is like, hey, we understand we can't get systems in everybody's hands, but you guys are going to have games by the time you get a system, stuff like that. Stadia and Ouya.
Yeah. Question in chat was, will they put it on Stadia and Ouya? I regret to inform you, I'm from the future, but only 6 months in the future, and both of these services are dead.
Yeah, I don't think Microsoft is going to put it on Stadia, not because they see them as a threat,
they
but
fucking hate Google. Yes, they see them as a threat. They fucking hate Google. Come on, Microsoft.
Come on, have you seen the Bing? Have you seen the Bing versus Google?
Oh my god, yo! So it's one thing to be the Xbox fan, but to be like a Microsoft fanboy, that's like the guy who needs to fucking tell you why he still fucking loves K-Swiss. It doesn't fucking make any sense. It's like it's a grandfather tech company, and it's cool. They do some really cool shit here and there. But then it's they just do some weird shit that nobody talks about or cares about. And then shit goes dead. The Microsoft store. How can you not make a digital fucking software store on the largest operating system in the world? You have
they still everyone right.
Everyone's eyes.
Oh shit!
Oh wait a minute! Wait! Is it possible Nintendo was cheating off of Microsoft's notes when their stores came out? Because I swear it's almost like the same goddamn experience on both platforms.
Right. Yes. Oh, hey, this app's free. We still need you to sign in with your Microsoft account. Oh, why? Yeah. I'm fucking in your operating system. I don't get it. The search doesn't even fucking work in it. It was the worst thing in the world.
It's the curse of the freaking Windows mobile platform.
Oh my god. No, yeah, the Windows 1. The Windows 1 where everything was supposed to share the same shit. That's why Xbox One had the squares like the Windows 8 and everything. Everything was supposed to be universal applications so that if you made it for an Xbox, it could play on the PC, no problem. It never fucking worked. And instead people made them for shitty Nokia Windows phones. And then you got these apps that had half the features. And now I'm playing around with a phone app on my $2,000 fucking computer. Ugh. I don't understand it.
Okay, so another comment in the chat right now is Bethesda needs the trust factor from the community. Bethesda has the trust factor from the community. Yeah, they made what Fallout game was that? Was it 76?
76 was fucked up.
Yeah, they made a giant.
But it's just Fallout.
But you know what? That doesn't. But I feel like that one mistake doesn't hurt Bethesda as a whole. If anything, that hurts Fallout. It doesn't hurt Bethesda.
I agree because I think their communities are super siloed. Someone who's playing Fallout does not give a fuck about Wolfenstein. The majority of the people who are playing
exactly.
Right. Same goes for when Deathloop comes out. Same with Elder Scrolls Online, all that shit. So people, as long as they don't mess it up, it's fine.
A little bit of bleed over, like with your Fallout and
Elder Scrolls. There's always going to be super fans, but
Dishonored and Deathloop type.
Bethesda's a big diverse studio. Bethesda is not BioWare. Bethesda is a big diverse studio. They have different groups that are specific to different games. Not whereas like BioWare is just like one group and they splinter off like from their main group to make their one game. Like Anthem, for example, they basically murdered Mass Effect Andromeda to get Anthem perfected, and now Anthem is dead because Anthem was flawed on arrival. Bethesda's completely different. Bethesda was Micro Studios before. It was Micro Studios that made the entity Bethesda. It's not Bethesda is Fallout and all this and stuff. No, it's not that one group. So let's kind of just for the sake of the conversation, let's kind of squash the fact that Fallout killed Bethesda. Fallout 76 killed Fallout. It didn't kill Bethesda.
Yeah, it damaged Fallout severely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also in the chat, it says something about Bethesda needs to make sure their quality is worth having. And I mean,
that's like every fucking game studio because we allow them to go and put betas out because if they don't, the community loses their shit on the companies. And then the companies put it out there and then the community rips on the fucking beta. So then development goes back and completely changes shit. And changes course most of the time, puts it back out there when they probably only need minor changes, and then the community loses its shit again. You can't please people.
This is how, just like how companies have learned to save their asses when they put out freaking like trailers and they say currently a work in progress may not be the result in the final product. They need to also do that with betas and demos because I swear to God,
the whole time there's text.
Yeah.
A watermark beta.
Have it a watermark,
Oh yeah. And on top of that, I mean, if we haven't learned anything at this point, I mean, Bethesda's been using for specifically Bethesda Studio for your Fallout and your Elder Scrolls. They've been using the same engine forever, and they just keep putting things out on this. That's where the term or the phrase "it's not a bug, it's a feature" came from. It's from Bethesda, at the end of the day, people crawl back. At the end of the day, people crawl back anyway. So it really doesn't. I mean, it does matter, but at the same time, Bethesda fans are going to be Bethesda fans, just like Nintendo fans are going to be Nintendo fans.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say that.
It's the same thing where Nintendo can do wrong, but Nintendo fans always come back. It doesn't matter.
Uncharted 3 pissed a lot of fans off, and guess what? Those same fans bought Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah, they were just drooling.
Fuck yeah, they did. They bought Uncharted 4, and then they all went there and went, "Holy fuck! I can't wait for Uncharted 5." I mean, yeah, it's the same bullshit every time. Every time with this shit. Fallout 76. Oh, it's fucking terrible. Now there's people playing it. They're making money.
Yeah, people are back to playing it. People are back to playing. I guarantee you. We let Anthem simmer for about a year, and people will be having their own bootleg servers to play that game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and we'll see some fucking Kotaku article. People started up underground dwelling of people that have decided to start up
mod
Anthem,
the absolute hell out of it.
And now it's modded with Macho Man Randy Savage and shit in it. And
I'd play that shit. I'm in.
Here's the real question. I like your opinions before we wrap this show up. What big thing do they buy next? Because they aren't done.
Who, Microsoft?
No.
Yeah.
Microsoft?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They have their sights on.
They got that Microsoft Teams money now. What are they? What are they?
Wait. Well, I hope not, because Teams is broken too.
Dude, because it's made by Microsoft.
Well, yeah.
You know how?
I'm sorry.
brutal that is?
I disparaged the name of Microsoft. I don't know what I was doing.
Do you know how like?
Oh, you're in a safe place, buddy. It's
Do you
all
know
right.
what it's like to sit in a meeting where I chose between Slack or I chose between Teams for the company I work for, and I mean, just in what they use and what they did, we couldn't have used Slack. It just wouldn't have worked because the team stuff at least has like the segmented folders and stuff for files, and it's just way easier to organize shit. So I'm like, we got to do Teams. Also, we have Office 365 throughout the whole damn place and for remote workers as well. So I'm like, this is the answer. We're gonna have to use this. Do you know what it's like to sit in a meeting when you're training people on some new features or helping them out and showing things, and you're like, guys, you can now sit in a fake fucking auditorium on a video conference call, but then someone asks you a question, which is a smart question, but can I drag my emails into Teams? No. But it will translate into 40 fucking languages as you speak. But when am I doing that? Don't worry about it.
And here's the dumb thing. About it. Like if you get like Office 365 or you get an Exchange membership, you automatically get doctored into Teams.
Oh, I know. They just kind of shove it onto you. Here's another one too. Hey, you can raise your hand virtually. Great, but can I make sure that notifications don't pop up when I'm in a meeting?
Absolutely not.
Well, no. Not all of them. It'll set you to do not disturb, but if someone writes the same thing twice, it'll still come through. Now I look like the fucking failure. Thank you, Microsoft.
You know what?
Appreciate it.
Okay, so to answer your question.
Yeah.
I
Who
think
you gonna buy?
Because Microsoft acts like they're too big to fail. Remember about the debacle where they tried to buy Nintendo? Microsoft acts like they're too big to fail.
Remember how they bought Nokia?
So I
don't get it, Jeff. What are you getting at? Jesus.
Terrible.
I think Microsoft is going to like try to put on their big boy britches, and they're going to try and go after Ubisoft. But they're gonna wait, because I mean Ubisoft has a lot of stuff that's like in the coffers that we haven't heard anything about. We don't know when the hell Beyond 12. Good and Evil. We don't know when Beyond Good and Evil 2 is coming out. Oh, and Microsoft is seething about that because Just Dance put Dance Central out of business.
No, Dance Central. Oh my god!
Microsoft
crippled Dance Central, and they wanted to fucking have Zune integration. God damn it, they've killed it.
Right?
Shit, I think that they're gonna buy Sega.
I don't think Sega's hurting enough. I think
Sega will take a fat fucking check. And I think that they'll take all of the development and all of like the engine and the back-end infrastructure stuff that Microsoft offers. And I think Sega would take a fat fucking check.
Sega, don't do it yet, please. I need to get Jet Set Radio Future on a system outside of Microsoft, on outside of the Xbox.
How about your iPhone or Android device?
Wait, Jet Set Radio Future?
Through xCloud, man. The future.
You'd be able to play it on PC. If they bought it, it'd be fine.
Could you imagine an exclusive Sonic game for Xbox?
God, no. I don't know.
I seriously think they'll purchase it.
I don't see them.
I think
I have a hard time seeing them going after anybody in the East because they are just not casual over there.
They have no casual.
It's not even so much
games. It's not even so much that kid related.
It's not even so much that they're not popular over in the East. The problem is Microsoft has a bad PR situation, and it stems all the way from the original Xbox. When they turned around and said that their controller is made for people with bigger hands.
Mm.
When they turned around and said that, like Japan was like, okay, screw your video game system. We don't care what you get on it.
You don't want to piss the people off with tiny hands.
You know, and you know what's you know what's
large market.
You know what's sad? You know what's sad? They put a Monster Hunter game on the Xbox 360 that nobody else could get, and it still did not sell units.
Yeah. It's
they put a Monster Hunter game out that I had to before VPNs were a thing. I had to spoof my IP address to act like I was in Japan so I could play this game, and I still got caught. I could only play the game for 1 month. I still got caught. And that game, because Monster Hunter sells buttloads in Japan, that game still didn't increase Microsoft's profile over in Japan. That's sad.
I just
I
don't
they're earning some good grace back. Like, I mean, so far the Series X has actually sold very well in Japan, but there's also such a small market there and such a small amount of Xbox Series X is out right now. So, I mean, those numbers are kind of they're pretty easy to hit overall. But it's just I don't know if I see them going after Sega because I feel like
they have no kids games.
Yeah, but I don't know if they want kids games. Sony
they don't know what they want.
Games either.
I know they're shit kids games, but someone's parents can be like, "Well, I know Sonic," and they'll go fucking buy the Xbox Series S.
What does Sony have? That's I mean, I guess they have
Ratchet and Clank,
Little Big
Planet, Astro. Now could be considered
I have a funny feeling that Kingdom Brings of Spirits is going to be more kid friendly than we realize.
Yeah, I think it looks like it's probably going to end up being like a Pixar film almost. I don't know. I don't know if Sonic is the answer to we need kids games. Let's buy Sega so we can have fucking Sonic.
It's not just the IP of Sonic. I mean, they hold a lot of other franchises, dude.
Right. But I also agree that I don't know if Sega's even hurting bad enough to be in a situation where they're like, yeah, we'll just go ahead and sell out.
Was Bethesda hurting?
Not necessarily.
Not at fucking all. They just wanted a fat fucking check.
Sega's a little different because Sega still has a chip on his shoulder from being beat out by Nintendo years ago.
Yeah.
They don't want to fold up and become a part of someone else, or else it would have happened years ago at this point.
I don't know. I mean, they do the fucking stupid Olympic games with Nintendo.
I could see them buying Capcom before I could see them buying Sega.
Yeah, I could definitely see them buying Capcom as well.
Possibly. I don't know. Capcom.
I don't necessarily see that.
Who wouldn't want to own Sega Bass Fishing?
Capcom's in.
I don't necessarily see it happening, but I see it happening before Sega.
Okay, that I can agree with. That I can agree with because Capcom's having such a big ass fucking payday right now.
With Monster Hunter taking off. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, when you look at the Resident Evil remakes, Monster Hunter, Devil May Cry 5, like man, like Capcom is just poised to win. Well, they revamped Street Fighter 5, and you know how they revamped Street Fighter 5? They had the guy who runs Monster Hunter take over Street Fighter 5.
What's wild too is the amount of marketing dollars they've thrown into Devil May Cry 5, into Monster Hunter World, and to that all from Microsoft's end.
Yeah.
You saw TV commercials on news channels for Devil May Cry 5 and for Monster Hunter World for Xbox.
Yep.
So, they could probably be doing that. I mean, Sega's got Shenmue, Shinobi, Sonic, obviously, Streets of Rage, Super Monkey Ball, all the Virtua stuff, which, they could bring back for like a VR headset or VR system if they want. You've got a bunch of racing games. You've got Panzer Dragoon.
But are any of those? I don't see
Bayonetta.
Any of those as being something that would be marketable enough for Microsoft to be like, yeah, I want that. The only thing that Sega has that is marketable enough to really be something, and even then it's kind of a stretch, would be Sonic for a game that would make Microsoft some money. They bought
weirder shit though. They bought tons of weird shit.
Most of the companies they bought have been
Studio
pretty solid.
MDHR just made Cuphead. I mean, I don't know.
But
I just think they just want to
Cuphead
fucking
is
own everything.
also, but the indie studios they have bought have been big indie studios. Cuphead was huge.
Double Fine, they have pretty
Double
siloed.
Fine?
Yeah, but they have pretty siloed fans.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I don't see Sega folding up and going to Microsoft.
Persona,
For pride, if nothing else, and that they're going to run into if they try to buy up any Eastern companies. There's a sense of pride that they're not going to be able to overcome.
And the other problem is too, like if they buy up the Eastern companies. But the other thing we haven't thought about is like the Japanese gamers are not going to go for it. Like
Right.
Japanese gamers will tank. We'll tank the whole system for them because they won't buy. And the reason why Microsoft would buy the Eastern companies is because they need a presence in the East. But if they buy an Eastern company, it's almost like okay, to use a lack of a better term, it's going to be hard carry for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Sonic, Puyo Puyo.
I swear, I see so many
Ryuga.
Nintendo comments in the chat right now.
Oh, I know.
Persona.
I'm just not gonna.
You don't think they'd want Persona?
Too much money.
I'm not gonna dignify any of it with a response.
Brody, do you think that they would want Persona? Because that's Sega Sammy.
Yeah, Atlas. I think they would, but I don't. Again, I mean, that's historically been more of a PlayStation thing.
I see Sega letting Nintendo have that before they let Microsoft have it.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like Sega would get in bed with Nintendo before.
Oh, so fast, because it's all about national pride at that point.
Yeah. I just don't see Microsoft buying up any Eastern companies. I don't see them going after, or I don't see Ubisoft folding in there either, especially not with Bethesda now. And at a certain point, you would have to wonder if somebody's going to raise the flag of monopoly as well. Just like the whole Disney thing, right? When they bought up Fox, like it became a whole deal. So now if Microsoft owns Ubisoft, Bethesda, all of the Microsoft stuff and all the other studios under there, at some point somebody's going to want to raise a flag at it.
Well, it's crazy too because the monopolistic laws, they're so outdated. They don't account for digital commerce. And so that's why Disney gets away with a lot of it, because IP is ideas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they probably have a good couple of years of being able to pick up stuff before they get where they get hit is where they would have their services for cloud gaming paired with their console, and then the exclusivity of their games is where they'd have the issue, but not owning as many IPs. They'd have to at least put some of those on other platforms and stuff like that. But it's gonna be interesting, man, to see what the hell they buy now.
Man, this is a wonderful talk. This was a wonderful topic. I love it.
I think they'll just go after an indie studio next, and
that's what
there'll be a little bit of air in there.
Yeah,
after buying up Bethesda, it's like
it's a safe move. It's a safe move, and I'll also say this: the reason why it's a safe move for them is because a lot of these other companies that are left in the wake of the whole ZeniMax Media acquisition, they're probably sitting there like hedging their bets now. It's like they're trying to figure out like why is Microsoft trying to snap up all this stuff? What's the end goal here? So a lot of these companies are going to be are not going to be ready to play ball. If Microsoft comes with a checkbook and says, hey. Like sign here, put any number in front of the zeros.
If you look at the history of Microsoft, these people are fucking insane, and they will just continue to buy crazy shit. One would go, we just bought Bethesda, like you said, Brody. We need to make sure that we can actually handle Bethesda as a parent organization now. We need to make sure that we can actually fit it into our systems and our processes and procedures, which is going to take fucking years.
Well,
and they'll go do something crazy like buy Capcom, Sega, and fucking something else. I mean, they're just going to do it. They're nuts.
You know what? To a couple of companies have been thrown out here. Koei Tecmo, CD Projekt Red. The problem is a lot of these companies are probably not going to turn around and play any type of ball with them because they need to see how Microsoft handles the Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition. Because let's look at their history. They've screwed over Rare. They screwed over Peter Molyneux Studio. They screwed over Mistwalker, which is Hironobu Sakaguchi Studio. You know, the father of Final Fantasy. They screwed him over. A lot of the companies are going to be like, hey, you might be bringing a paycheck, but are we still going to have jobs at the end of the day after we sign up with you guys? And you know what? Microsoft is basically EA, you know, except they're on a different level.
Damn.
You know, so
stop. What about Take-Two Interactive?
Stop throwing. Yeah, so you know,
they
just
bought
for the
them.
chat. Wait, who?
Take-Two.
Oh.
They could buy THQ Nordic. I mean, literally the entire. You look at a company like THQ Nordic. THQ Nordic's entire premise has just been purchasing IP to create a large portfolio on scale of numerous genres for another company to fucking buy.
Yep.
I mean, there's no reason why THQ Nordic needs to go out and buy what it buys because it buys so much shit that it never uses.
Honestly, that would be a pretty good pickup for Microsoft.
You know what?
We got one, baby.
They're probably listening to us right now.
SpongeBob, Bikini Bottom remaster, Game Pass exclusive.
Jesus, what a time to be alive!
Saints Row.
They do have an ungodly amount of IP, and a lot of it isn't being utilized, and not all of it's great. But I mean, it's IP, and it would be something to have. And honestly, some of the studios that they have under their wing are actually pretty decent too. I don't think that'd be a bad pickup. But also, their parent company is getting pretty fucking large too.
What about CD Projekt Red for pennies on the dollar?
I don't think anybody's real interested in buying CD right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. That would be a bad PR move to be like, yeah, we're gonna buy the company.
Not right now, but you know, they're in a software cycle. It's gonna take a while for them to get something out.
Optics aside, they probably won't mess with CD Projekt Red at least this year.
No. But I mean, like, you know, in a couple of years, they pick that guy up.
Yeah. I don't know. But also, I don't think CD Projekt Red is in any. They're not in any ways they want to sell themselves.
Not yet. If that makes sense. Sued out the ass.
Fair.
And they don't have a fucking 18-story building full of just legal counsel like Microsoft.
In a way, it is a console exclusive because it's still not on the PlayStation Store. So
that's right. We're already halfway there. We're already halfway there, dude.
Shit.
I mean, I could see him buying them, but anyways, this episode has definitely been long, but it's been absolutely fantastic and entertaining. So, guys, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. Lauren, you want to plug your guys' stuff again?
Oh, sure. Catch me over at Crossroads PlayStation Podcast over on my Twitch channel every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's twitch.tv/Exodus803. Head over to BossRushGames.com and check everything out that we have going on over there. You have a bunch of diverse and different shows from Nintendo Power Block to Arsenal X to the weekly Boss Rush podcast show. We also have started a writing team, and we're actually looking at recruiting for writers. If you think you have what it takes and you want to actually write and be a contributor for BossRushGames.com, come over, check us out, get introduced to some people, and hey, become a contributor.
Sweet. You can follow me on PlayStation. My PSN is Maple Jeff,
and mine is Luscious Brody. And nobody can pronounce it right, and I don't know why. It's always Lucius. Every
weird.
Random chat, it's always
calling you the devil.
Wait. I've always called you Luscious Brody.
I know.
Always, from day one.
I know. See, LeBron's got it down.
Same.
Everybody else we're working on it. I mean,
as a guy who grew up getting his name bastardized, you know, I appreciate being able to actually make sure I get someone else's name correct.
What were all the different ways that people said it?
Okay, so my name is spelled Leron. Like those 5 letters, right?
Yeah.
I've heard
Leron.
Leroy. I've heard Leron. I've heard Lorraine.
oh,
I don't know how you got all those extra
Lorraine.
consonant vowels. I've heard a lot of I've heard LeBron, which I actually like that one.
Well, we'll give that one. We'll be okay. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but for real, I mean, seriously, like I've had every possible way that you can get my name wrong.
I'm trained at this point in my life.
I've gotten LaRue. Like, where's the U at? Where's the U at?
I'm trained at this point in my life to just respond to Brady because I know people just think I don't know how to spell or say my own name. So that's always fun.
And
I have a cousin named Brady too, and that makes it all the more confusing.
And my name has 2 terrible scenarios with it. One, someone calls me Jeffrey. It sounds like I'm a fucking 8-year-old. The second scenario is that there's people in this world that seem to want to spell their name Geoff. The fuck is that? That's not Jeff.
Is it? Wait, it's the same person that you want to kick in the nuts every summer around a certain time of the year.
No, I don't hate Jeff Keighley.
Oh, okay.
Or Geoff Keighley.
Just the way he spells his
Geoff.
I just don't like from one Jeff to another Geoff. I just don't like the fucking way he spells his name. Just don't agree with it. But
talk about another person that's a super fan. That's a whole other show though.
Yeah, we'll have you on about that. That'll be the next episode. We'll have you on for Game Awards. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been a blast. Thanks, Ron, for coming on. And